All right, hi, it's Amy from To Journey Overland, and I'm here with some amazing women that are doing the Rebelle rally. This is their third one, maybe this year.
Yes.
Yes.
Third year.
I went to their class last night, and I'm just impressed. I
Thank
could never
you.
drive a Jeep; that would terrify me. But navigating sounds really cool. But the wealth of knowledge that you have, like I don't even know how you
Thank
get
you.
there.
Just
But
learn.
Yeah.
but yeah, so how did you guys like even get started in this? Like,
Yeah. So I've been off-roading for probably a solid 9 years now,
okay,
and full time pretty much in terms of it's my life. But we met in the middle of the woods at a women's event, and I was there the first time he drove Harry's Jeep, her husband's Jeep.
okay,
And now that ended up a year later, maybe,
Yep.
of her getting her own Jeep. And that's the vehicle, our third teammate, that we compete in.
all right.
And so it's just spiraled from there. And it's what led me to work full time in the industry. And that's where that knowledge comes from, too, is just turning passion into a full time thing.
Okay.
So that's where we are started out. And then my other half is the one that we followed the Rebelle, and it just never occurred to me to do it.
Okay.
And he's the one that said, "You should totally do this.
Yeah.
You'd be great at this." And I was like, huh. And then I didn't tell her what I wanted to talk to her about. I was just like, "Hey, at this next off road event, I want to talk to you about something." And she was like, "Okay." And then I told her about it, and she said yes. And then later on, she was like, "What are we
Oh my,
doing?"
because you weren't wheeling yet, or you weren't
Oh, I was
driving.
100% wheeling.
Oh, you were.
but
Okay.
The only maps I had ever read were your good old Rand McNally, and the little number says it's 8 miles to the next town.
Okay.
That's the
Yeah.
only map reading I'd ever done, like anybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's telling me, I need you to be the navigator. I'm like, okay. So I went to the Missouri Department of Conservation and took my first orienteering class
Okay.
and started learning that way. And then once you sign up for the Rebelle, they have a whole library of videos on their website that you can go in and watch and learn and rewatch and rewatch and rewatch.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then you can connect with other groups and then find navigating groups in your area. And you can
Mhm.
go with them. And good practice is like geocaching
Oh, sure.
and doing so forth.
Sure.
So I did a lot of that. That just kind of helped me. And then we would get together and practice together.
Yep.
And so that's kind of how we
Yeah. I mean, I'm at the
started
point
going.
where I don't even really know how to use a compass yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm like
Right.
so rudimentary, but
Yeah.
Right.
but
And now
I
it's
just must start taking some classes. So,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like you said, I mean, you did it through Missouri. I wonder if
I
I
did
work from
through-
Indiana, so I don't know. If there's
Mhm.
Conservation Department
Okay.
Yep.
is where we started, or I
Yeah.
started,
Okay.
And
it's a free
then
class.
Okay.
yeah.
So
And you talked about some army or military or something.
Yeah, like just the Army Land Nav books that
Okay.
they have. Read through those. It doesn't apply directly, but the principles and concepts do.
Okay.
So there's a lot of good things in there. But then Rebelle Rally, as well as Barlow Adventures, puts on Rebelle Rally specific trainings
Okay.
that are not just about navigation. It's about going out to some of these terrains, like the Imperial Sand Dunes in Glamis
Yeah.
are 300-foot tall dunes. And
it's a little intimidating.
I bet.
driving a sand rail or a side by side or something out there, a dune buggy, totally different from driving a fully loaded full size vehicle.
Yeah.
So going out and learning to do that, we're actually going to be doing a class in September right before the rally, just to get some extra seat time
Okay.
out in
Kinda
the
like Put it
dunes.
fresh.
Yeah,
Get to feel better.
because the dunes can freak you out, especially because it's usually on the last day.
Okay. And you're tired by then.
And you are
Yeah.
done, like you're
Oh my gosh.
pooped,
'Cause
absolutely
it's like 8
pooped.
days, right?
Yep.
8 days of driving.
And you're sleeping in a tent.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
And it's 10 to 11 hours each day of hunting checkpoints nonstop, and then you get back and you get prepped, and sometimes you moved that night, so you had a transit, so you carried all your tent and gear with you, and then you have to set up camp.
oh, wow.
So you split up duties between you,
Yeah.
and like in the mornings, she blocks for me when I'm plotting, because you only have about an hour and a half every morning to plot your checkpoints before you have to be on the start line.
Okay.
Besides going over my vehicle, making sure everything's, checking my fluids, checking my tires, packing up all of our gear, making sure we have everything. Because when we come in at night, when we come in and after we check in with our tracker, We have 1 hour to fuel, get whatever we need out of the vehicle, and lock it up.
Okay.
After we've gone over it again, so it's ready for the next day, because it goes into what we call impound.
Okay, so like,
All
they
it-
don't even let you access your vehicle after that.
Correct.
Right.
In case you're
Correct.
gonna do
Yep.
something to it. Or I don't know.
Right,
Like,
right.
Yep.
Like if you need to go work on your vehicle, then you have to go to the mechanics and
Okay.
go with them and work in their area, because it's all about leaving the area the way you found it.
Okay.
No spills, no,
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
you know,
Yep.
for
Okay.
tread lightly principles.
Sure.
Yep.
And a lot of these areas that we are in are protected lands,
Okay.
and we have land permits to be able to have permission to go through there.
Yep.
And they want it left exactly the way we got it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to do any kind of things like that in the mechanic area.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's why we. That's
Yeah, you
part
don't
of
need
the.
those permits revoked because
Yep.
somebody
Yeah,
didn't,
because we
right?
don't
Yep.
want to hurt that for anybody else.
Yeah.
Yep. And competition wise, it keeps it fair, makes sure
Mhm.
that everything it isn't
Nobody's
extremely
wrenching on your
regulated.
vehicle when you're supposed to be.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Awesome.
Advantages, they want everybody to have a extremely fair playing field.
Sure.
So you don't have to use the mechanics themselves, but you have to be in their area.
Okay.
So like we fixed a CV boot with dog poop bags and duct tape our first year because
Truly,
it ripped it
worked.
off in
It
the
was awesome.
dunes.
Yeah.
And it held up just fine for the last day, and helped us be able to go full send in
Yeah.
the dunes when we needed to. So, yeah, it is
Yep.
life changing.
Well, I say I am totally impressed
Yeah.
by what you guys.
You should do it.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
you
One
know,
day.
it probably starts as a little seed of an idea, right?
Yep.
And then
Yeah,
You
because
know,
our
you never
first
know.
year, we took a year and a half to just learn and train and fundraise before
Okay.
we even did it. So,
I heard you
Mhm.
explain how expensive it is.
Mhm.
Yes, very expensive, but a lot of it is because of the cost of being on those lands and
Okay.
being able to leave no trace with that many people.
Okay.
Collecting all the gray water, everything's run off solar. The chef only uses regenerative meat, and he's a Michelin star chef, so that's nice. You get really good food.
I was say at least
Yes,
you
you do.
eat well.
Yes, you
It's
eat well.
amazing food.
Except for out on the competition day, we eat a lot of pickles and like
What are
salty things, fruit. So you don't want to just live off granola bars because
Okay.
that's not
Not-
wise.
Not wise.
You
You'll
will
understand.
you will not enjoy
Oh.
4 days of granola bars all day
Okay.
afterwards. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Um,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot, but being able to have that many people and just the whole show is world class. You know, it is a very professional competition, and it's just great because anybody can do it.
I say because you started as rookies.
Yep.
And now
You
it's
can
like
do this in a bone stock vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
You certainly can. You have bone stock class and you have 4x4 class,
Okay.
and they have different checkpoints.
Okay.
So
Crossover class.
Crossover class. Yeah.
And you can have bone stock in both,
Uh-huh.
and that's like an extra badge essentially.
Okay.
Like you not only did you do the Rebelle in the 4x4 the crossover class, but you did it in a completely stock vehicle. The only thing you're allowed to change is the wheels and tires.
Mhm.
Okay.
So no skid plates, no additions. So like
Wow.
there was a vehicle that was the new mock, what is it, Mustang.
Okay.
It was
And-
literally this far off the ground.
Yeah, I mean like
Clearance
their
was
skid
like-
plates.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And they were in the crossover class, but they had to put the whole bottom was just one sheet of skid, and
Okay.
that was the one thing that they weren't allowed to be bone stock anymore. But the rest of it
Oh.
was bone stock.
Okay.
So it's like that particular
Yeah.
with
Wow.
the different
And
rules.
they made it through.
Yep, they made it through
Mhm.
unscathed.
Wow.
Not completely unscathed,
I mean,
but
they had to move some rocks, but
Okay.
like
And that's okay. Like
that's
that kind of
okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah.
stuff. So, at any point or in time, are you not rookies anymore? Like
After your first year.
After your
Okay.
first year.
Okay.
So there's basically Rookie of the Year, or now they do a podium for Rookie of the Year because they started having so many rookies just 1 point away from each other. And really, it's another one of those like badges. You know, it's like you are both rookies coming and doing this, and you were the top of the rookies.
Okay.
So you're still in the regular placements with everybody else, but they have that separate designation. So like Kara and her teammate Danielle last year were second place,
Mhm.
rookie of the year.
Okay.
And it was by like 1 point, I think.
Wow.
1 or 2 points,
Wow.
very close. So Kara and Danielle, well, Kara will be competing again this year, but with Holly. Holly is a competitor. She's competed every year.
Okay.
Danielle's taking this really cool trip somewhere else. I
On
can't
a
remember.
motorcycle.
Yeah,
Baja.
taking like a
Oh, wow.
3-month motorcycle trip. I was like, I get it. We took last year off and I
Yeah.
went on vacation,
Yeah.
and it was lovely.
I'm sure, because it probably becomes your life.
It
You know, while
does.
you're
It
trying
does.
to like
Mhm.
to train and plan and
Yep.
fundraise and
Yeah,
And
You're
our
consuming.
sponsors take care of us, so we take care of them. And
Yes.
we make sure and
Yes.
tag them all the time, and
Yeah.
as you know.
Yep.
And so yeah, we took the year off. She wanted to take her trip, and my husband wanted to put his on 40s and go to 1 ton. He's like, okay, it's your turn to spend money on you.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, we both had things that we needed to take a break from, but now
Sure.
let's go.
So now you're back at fundraising.
We're back
Yes,
at fundraising.
yes.
Yeah. How do you fundraise? Like, what is your main ways to get?
A big one is sponsorships and
Okay.
working with companies that align with, you know, the overall goals and empowering women in motorsports, getting more women into competitive positions, driving or co-driving, is a big part of it, and just empowering more women when it comes to off-road and in this general automotive industry.
Okay.
But I forgot what I was going to say with that last part.
And then we do events like this where
Oh, yes.
we some of our sponsors don't give us money; they give us product,
Oh.
and then we in turn turn around and raffle that and share their product that way.
Oh, awesome.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then something I learned my first year, these women had their back bumper signed by all these people, and I was like, "Tell me about that."
Yeah.
So it was family members, it was friends. I'm like, I love that idea.
Okay.
$5, $20
Right.
here or there.
Yeah.
And then their name, they got to go along with
Yep.
you on the trip. Because
Yep.
their name, yeah.
Yep.
That's
So
really cool.
for us, $20 or more, you get to sign my bumper, so you go along with us on the Rebelle.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's how
So-
we even just slowly trying to start a YouTube channel. Like,
Mm-hmm.
bugged our family, friends.
Mm-hmm.
They probably were tired of buying T-shirts and things. You
Yeah.
know?
Right. Right.
But-
Well, we have that too.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yep.
Yep. And buy them at the merch table inside.
Oh, can we?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yep. Well,
we've
that's
got
true because
hats
I have a
and-
grit and grace. So now that I have
Yeah.
met you
Yes.
guys,
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to.
Yep.
Support.
And it's with the same with Jared
Same
and Kayla.
vendor.
Kayla with Shop Overland
Yeah, we
Apparel.
saw that.
They're
That's
lovely.
a really neat thing.
They're
I'm
really
sure
good
there's
people.
a lot of
They're really good
people starting out that it's hard to like sell merchandise for yourself,
Correct.
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
And they just do all of it for you.
Yeah,
Jared
and
Kayla is fantastic.
they all the profits after cost of goods and all of that, he just gives it right to us to help us raise money. So
Wow.
it's nice
Mhm.
because it's that little extra every month. It might only be, $40 or $50, but all of a sudden you're like,
Adds up.
that $40, $50 adds up.
Yeah.
Makes a difference.
Well, thank you guys.
Yes,
Sharing your
thank
story.
you.
Yeah.
It was great to meet you. I'm so
Yes.
glad you came to the class.